So the way to use these properly then is to think about yourself as a race car. You have a chassis running down the center line of your body, that's the spine. In a human, we have a flexible chassis. What we do for optimal core engagement and load bearing is our musculature forms a stiff chassis. At the top end of that are the upper obliques. You have to be engaged here. You'll feel this sort of knitting or even some fire or some stress and tension in the upper obliques. That's the shoulder girdle engagement. You need to stay there. People will cue you roll your shoulders back and down. The shoulder is the victim here. It has nothing to do with this movement. The shoulder girdle is supported by the upper obliques that lock the top part of the chassis. Connecting your powerhouse then is the second part of the chassis, that's the glutes. If the glutes go to here, you can see immediately how the whole thing kicks off. Now I have a deep arch. I'm not locked into a strong chassis. So the second thing to do is to have a slight tuck of the tailbone. You'll see this cued as a posterior pelvic tilt. Nobody ever knows what that means. What that means is don't hyperarch. Aim your tailbone down the back of your legs, a very neutral position. You could flex from there or you could extend from there. Again, a slight aiming of the tailbone down the back sides of the legs. Not too much, not too little, and some glute engagement to lock that. So that's the force couple around the hip joint, the glutes and the deep low abs, locks the bottom part of the chassis. So the objective of really using this core wheel exercise is to train that power form and perturb it and fatigue it. And no matter what happens, you hold that line, hold that line, hold that line. Jiggle it, find different random patterns. But just wham it out and doing various forms, it may get you some puff, but it will train in very dysfunctional habits on every repetition. So what we want to do then is get set up into this movement with all of that in mind. Lock and load, the tops of the feet come down. Get your shoulders set up directly over your hands. Drop the hips down. Find a spot right now before you get into the movement where you can feel the tailbone aim right down the back sides of your legs. You have to be able to find this spot yourself. I can cue it in people, but people have to feel it. We're kinesthetic by nature. So from here, I'm in a press. I'm not over gripping these. I'm in a press. I feel like if I wanted to, I could arch, but I'm not going to. I'm going to commit to holding my tailbone down the back sides of the legs, and we're going to start to roll. And what I'll do is do thumb over to keep from over gripping this sucker. This is a press, not a grip, not a bar grip. So you're perturbing it and you're holding the line, holding the line, holding the line. Hit your safety bumper, just in case. Practice getting to your safety bumper. This is harder. Then you push it. Move your safety bumper. That's the most important part of this, is really not wasting an opportunity to train for strength and power across your whole chassis and training your core to engage in an optimal movement pattern under stress. Under stress. So you want to keep your mind focused on what you're doing. Embrace the suck. Embrace the shake. Any shaking, our stabilizer is working. They're little practice repetition patterns to build stabilization for a sturdy chassis. So stay in the shakes. So if you get to here and you're shaking, stay in the shakes. Perturb the shakes a little bit. Embrace the shakes. And then once you're ready, if you're more advanced, you can go ahead and roll out and roll back in. And then finally, the most advanced movement, once the shaking is gone, you can really challenge the full chassis now. Get set up, shoulders over hands, drop and lock. Gonna lock down at the bottom end. It's not going anywhere. I have my line, I have my form. I'm gonna inhale out, exhale up. Inhale out, exhale up. And then you can release off of the counter stretch. Feels really good there. It's a nice chance for that.